We are back with another rigged AI recap of what happened in the options market today. It is Friday, February 14th, the day of love. And because it is Friday and every option is 0 DTE, we'll be covering all of the popular names, starting with, boom, NVIDIA. Coming down, looking at the chart, what happened in this session? Well, first hour, open, you get a nice 1-2 strike move higher. Beautiful, right? By the time these alerts come in, you have to know, like, you're late, right? You already moved up 2 strikes. But what happened? You're up 2. It comes back to the blue line. Let's turn this off. You come back to the blue. You do not break below. You do not break the 136 strike. And that was the bottom. Okay? So we talk about it every single video. SPY and QQQ. You go up, you come down to the blue, you don't break below it. The blue line is the opening price for the day. It's probably going to go back up, and that's exactly what happened. Now, it would be great to see some bull bombs in here. Didn't get them. You get 1 KTR. That's a 258% return. That is phenomenal. We're telling you, bulls BL to +2. Guess what? If you're trading them all the way over here, when you are plus 1.65, you're still returning over 100%. Buying and holding till the end. That's using rigged. That's following the system and crushing it. Apple, Apple's weird. It doesn't like to go crazy. You get a nice move up to this 245 strike. It pulls back down, and then this is crazy. I mean, this is absolutely nuts. Wow, it started at 7 cents. The high is 34 for the 245 call there at the end. That's madness. That is not something we want to get into or want to trade very often. Tesla. Absolutely beautiful. Let's just turn all the alerts off for a second. Where did this thing bounce? As soon as this says bear risk, bull swing zone, it goes back up. So when CTE says bears BL to -2, or after 1+ strike swing, well, this is a 1 strike swing. This is a 1 strike swing. And let's see, turn on bears. You don't have a perfect tag in here, but just know, like, hey, that's what we want to use for an entry. And if you did that, you made money. Going to the bulls, look at that. It's bear risk, bull swing zone. We're telling you, hey, this is where they swing it, and that's exactly what happened. Ends up closing down 2 strikes on the day. That's classic. That's what Wall Street loves to do, especially on Fridays. But now let's go to the money makers. Q. This is another example of what? You don't break the blue, it's going back up. Up move. Let's turn this off for a second. Come back to the blue line. We recorded a video on this earlier, trading of the futures. Goes up. You can see all of these bulls coming in, right? Win rate on them, pretty good. Didn't crush it today, but that's pretty good, right? So seeing that can give us a bullish bias. And this says trade bulls BL, which means at the blue line. And if we look at the entire session, if you traded, you went long, you bought calls anytime we came close to the blue line, I mean, the most you drew down was 19 cents. So, I mean, it's 31 cents from the blue line, and that's the absolute bottom. Up move, come down to the blue, more likely than not, it's going back up if it cannot break the strike below and push to like -2. It's exactly what happened today. Now, even if you miss this part, coming back later in the session, and this is beautiful. Look at that. You're getting 120%. It's a one strike nuke. You know, KTR doing pretty well. But that's what this is about. Bulls BLR after nuke. That's kind of a nuke. Goes down. You're getting the tag. But if you traded any of these at the blue line, crushed it. This was very much under control today. Lowish volume, under 100%. Flirting with all-time highs. So maybe we'll get it on Monday. Looking at SPY. SPY, they kept this thing on lock. So when you're 34 cents at the check, it's very neutral. It's like, it's not really bullish. It's not bearish. It's just whatever. So we want to follow the price action. High win rate, edge alerts. Don't really get too many. We move the win rate slider up to 50%. You get nothing. But nothing really happened, right? And Rig would have told you if we would expect something good. You move this thing down, it's like at 40%. It's like, okay, you know, these do decent. This does okay. 100%, hour and 5 minutes. But really not too much to look at there on SPY. IWM, well, you got 0 alerts, and the price action absolutely abysmal. Open, always volatile. Bears BLR after swing. If you took a bear right here, right at this 227 strike, you traded it without using rigged, whatever, crushed it. But then they keep this thing pinned right at this 226 strike. Strikes are the only thing that matter. They're the only levels you have to draw. And with IWM, SPY and QQQ, very easy because they're just dollar increments. And look, we're telling you this is the bear exit zone. And if you took it down here and exited, that was max gain for the day. Didn't get any alerts, but you can still follow CTE. One alert. Look at this low volume. This is just total control. It looked like AMD was going to fly. They keep this thing absolutely pinned at the 113 strike. Down to the blue, back up. Mean reversion, the algos win. Overall, when you're looking at the session, the same rule applies, the same lesson applies that we'll hammer over and over. You get up above the blue, $1.51. You return to the blue, boom. That's the trade you want to take. Dips a little bit below, that is awesome. The important thing is not to get caught up in here, right? Let's just turn everything off. Okay, pulls back down, comes back to 138. If you're playing around here, which is, you know, in that 50 to 75 cent range, that's the danger zone, man. If it does not just rip over the strike, you're going to get killed. And that's what happens. Like, people see this up move, they get FOMO. They buy here, they get killed. Okay, they exit. They see it happen again. Right here, you're touching 138. You're either in it or you're holding through and adding right here. And guess what? You get absolutely crushed, right? You get crushed. And then where do they bounce it? Right at the blue line, eventually taking it to 136 before hitting the jets, going all the way up, $2.50. So just know, like, hey, always think about your position. We show it to you right here on the chart. But when you are, +1, and it's not just flying to 2, you're going to get crushed. Wait for the blue line, or, blue line is 136.46. You have to think like, hey, if it gets down this low and doesn't fly, which that's happening right here, we can test 136. You tested 136 one time. That was the absolute bottom. That is using rigged. That is crushing it. That is how you do it. Up move, come back to the blue, bounce. We see the same thing on Q. Up move, back to the blue, bounce. Blue, bounce. Blue, peak of bottom, right? One strike under, 12 cents below. SPY didn't exactly have that. This is crazy. Like, it is crazy that it can be so controlled at times. They took it to the blue. This is nice right here. Even if you're late on this one, taking it under the blue, you're getting 60 cents. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. But just remember, this says neutral. Outline is red. Expected to be relatively terrible. That's what it was. Q, you get more. Why? Because, we're higher here at 10:30. Either taking them at the blue line based off of these, or here following these bulls. Bang, bang, bang. That was a session kind of weak for a Friday, to be honest. But ultimately, that's what we expect when volume is low. Low volume means low Wall Street participation, which means it is not going to be great to trade. And clearly that is reflected with our bull and bear AMG. Nothing going over 100%. That's it. But guess what? The market will be open again on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Come to the website, check it out, look at all of the different days. We've had some incredible trading this year, a ton of platform upgrades coming. Thank you for being here. Have a great day and keep it extra frosty.